Yeah,
Yes, my viewers, welcome again. I apologize for that just now. Um, this was out of my control. We have a kind of internet failure. So welcome back again. And also we have on board Mr. Lawrence Davy. Welcome, sir.
good night, good night, good night.
Well,
Thank you for having me.
the big man himself, aka Champo man. Champo. Yes. Um, Champo, first thing, you're on the program tonight. You represent two things. Um, you're representing the team, classic team, and also you're representing 85 strikers team of the week, right?
Yeah,
So you're going to questions for both of them. Welcome again, Professor. Professor, big up yourself. Mr. Floyd, right?
Yes, man, I'm hearing you now.
Okay. All right.
Just a little
First thing
technical
I want
glitch there. I'm not hearing you. So,
first thing I want to ask, Champo. What does Champo mean?
well, Champo. All right, so Champo is a name I inherited. It is basically the name that they call Omar Walker, the six-time champion jockey. So they just shortened it and call him Champo. And I inherited that name from my teacher, Nine Speng. So he passed on the
Oh,
name to me. Yes.
okay. So he's a champion jockey. He's a
Yeah,
just
man.
champion.
Six-time champion jockey.
Six time. All right, sir. All right.
Mhm.
All right. How long now you have been playing for Classic?
3 years. 3
3 years.
years. Yeah.
Okay. And you're also the team of the week for last week in the Sansan League. You won the team of the week also. 85 strikers, right? That's correct. That's 85 strikers.
85 strikers, man. 85 Radios Road. 85.
85 ready as well. Did that team enter last season? Or is this the
No,
first?
we're a new team.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
Question: What motivates you to play domino, Champo?
To be honest with you, I really love the game. I actually grew up in the game. My grandfather, he taught me the game initially. The yard itself that I grew up in is a domino yard. So everybody comes to that yard every day at 2 p.m. and the domino start from that time till about 7 p.m. So I grew up in the culture of dominoes then, so to say. So I have the love
Okay.
for the game, the passion for the game, yeah.
Okay. But who really inspired you though to play?
Um, I would say my grandfather, as I said initially, but once I got more exposed, I really have to give it to Sundance Kid. Sundance Kid is my domino inspiration.
Okay. Your grandfather used to be a professional domino player.
No man, it's just Corey Goat League.
Oh,
and then,
Bundesliga.
and then,
Okay.
all
Um.
right, Shampoo,
Okay.
you mentioned some.
All right, go ahead.
uh,
Go ahead,
No one.
Professor.
All right, Shampoo, you mentioned Sundance Kid as your inspiration. I just wanted to know where was that inspiration came from Sundance Kid because obviously you had seen players before. So who was before Sundance Kid, or actually how you entered in a competitive nature at the Domino?
Alright. I started working at Digital in 2015 and was introduced to business house at that point. Well, not to be honest with you, it was actually at UA. Whilst I was at UWI, that is where I started to play competitive dominoes, business house. As UWI had entered a team and we started to play against the other teams in the corporate era. That is where I really started. I saw some great players then, but in 2017, I saw Sundance Kid at an open court match for the first time. and I've never seen another player like that since. Greatest of all time. I can't tell anybody that.
Okay. All right. How do if person want to be a part of Classic? How do they join the club? Classic club.
Well, if you want to join Classic, the doors are open. However, there are a few criteria that you would have to meet. One, you would first have to have the ability to play the game, and two, you would have to have the right attitude, because sometimes ability can take you so far, but your attitude can be a big deterrent for you going even farther. Understand?
Oh, so they don't take persons who are just learning the game. They don't recruit people.
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, you can have ability now and still be learning. So
Okay.
if
Yes.
you're a beginner, you can still come.
Okay. What is your greatest challenge being a part of Classic?
The greatest challenge being a part of Caribbean Classic. Wow. To be surrounded by so many good players, it's not easy to compete against those players on a regular basis and come out victorious. However, it helps to mold you into a better player. It's like iron sharpening iron. So the more you play against them, whether the result goes in your favor or not, the better you become as a player.
Okay.
So that is the
All
that is
right.
the, that is the real challenge.
Being a part of 85 strikers and Classic, that means you must be playing a lot of domino. How often do Classic players train? How often you train at Classic?
Oh man, training is a daily thing, man. Remember, Classic is a professional domino club, you know.
Yeah, so you train every day at Classic.
Yeah, man, training is daily.
Okay, and for 85 strikers, how often you train?
Well,
Because
if a person
to be a team,
85 strikers is not in the same category as Caribbean Classic. Training
yeah.
only takes place when the team has a chance to come together. So that's maybe once a week or so.
Okay. Which team is the hardest team you play so far? 85 strikers in the Sansan League.
I would say hmm, well, that's a difficult one, you know.
So every side is good.
Yeah, man, the teams are very evenly matched, I would say, in terms of ability. Um, it's difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult. The margin is too small to really put one team as the most difficult team that we play.
All right. Being a part of Caribbean Classic,
Mhm.
what you would say will be an ideal club? What is the ideal club? Domino club.
Ideal club
Domino club, yes.
in terms of what structure or
Yes, man. Everything in general.
ideal domino club, disciplined players, frequent practice, contribution from everyone, use mutual respect amongst the players also, um, the right attitude in general. So we'd have to have good players, a good governing body or board, and the right attitude from the members overall, and respect towards each other, mutual respect.
Okay. Professor? Professor? Oh, Professor is off. I never realized. Hold on a minute. He's in the waiting room. Yes, Professor. I never realized that you were off. Do you have any more questions for Mr. Lawrence?
Come on, I understand you started from the mental aspect of the game and you have played all.
Not hearing you clearly, Professor.
Not hearing you, Professor. All All right. I don't know what is happening there, Professor. We're not hearing you. All right, Mr. Lawrence. Did you think you were Classic would be going to the final to play against Lynx? Was it Lynx? You think would be your opponents in the final?
To be honest, I actually thought Brayton would have been our opponent in the final. Because Brayton has been getting the better of Lynx for the past few matches, so I thought it would have been Brayton.
Okay. All right. On Sunday, Classic beat Right Stuff by what? 41 points?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of person didn't expect Classic to beat in a semi-final to beat Right Stuff by 41 points. Right? To be honest though, Mr. Lawrence, you think Classic is 41 points better than Right Stuff?
In all honesty, we are. It's not that we're being boastful, but we are 40 plus points better than Right Stuff. The quality of the players that we have compared to the Right Stuff players, yes, we are.
Okay. All right. You have anything to say to your opponents playing next week? No, on the 28th, which is Lynx.
Oh, Lynx United, man. Lynx United is our brother club, you know. I don't have anything to say in the way of us wanting to beat them badly, but we will come out victorious. It will be a good game. It will be a good game. And if Lynx isn't very careful, it can be an embarrassing final for them. So I would encourage them to come and play their best.
So it will be an embarrassing final. That's not a brother club then, man. To beat a brother embarrassingly. Mr. Professor, fly right.
Yeah, man, here.
Yeah, man. Go ahead now. We're hearing you now.
All right. I was just asking prior to what it was more on the side of the 85 striker. Probably generally about his ability, the format of the game he probably prefers because he has started from a mental aspect and then went into the other formats, the cross the table and the code. Which shampoo you believe is the best format for you?
I would say across the table, yeah. Across the table is the best format for me.
And why? Why is that?
I really enjoy the game more in across the table, and it helps me to at least decipher what the opponent has more quickly, because I have less retention to do as it relates to what my partner is saying to me, or I have less difficulty in reading the game then. So it's the best format in my opinion for me. And I tend to make fewer mistakes in across the table.
Okay.
As opposed to open code or even mental.
All right. What is your Go ahead, Malachi.
Okay. All right. I heard you said Classic is 40 something points better than Right Stuff. Right? But to me, during the whole league, I think Right Stuff supposed to give it the best challenge. Give Classic the best challenge.
Yes, they did put up a great deal of resistance, but they caught us on an off day. Really off day. Our top runs getter was struggling. And the others the others that are in the queue behind him also struggled tremendously entire day. So that is the reason why they had such a great lead against us. However, the game changer himself came in and made a really huge impact on the game. I think that's where the tide kind of changed for Caribbean Classic.
So what are you saying? Even on a Classic half day, they would still came out victorious.
Yeah, man. That is why I'm confident in the fact that we are 40 plus points better than them. because on a bad day we still managed to beat them.
Okay. All right. Yes, my viewers, please remember to click like on the video. Frederick, yeah man, big up yourself, Frederick. Frederick Mesado is asking Champo. He's asking Classic don't want no more player. No, oh, he's telling that's not a question. He's telling the crowds something that we don't know about. Yes, Everett, big up
No man,
yourself.
no, we don't refuse players, man. As long as you have the right attitude. Right attitude, yes. You'll be
Yeah.
welcome to the club.
Okay. And you don't have to have money either.
No, you don't have to have money.
Because a lot of persons, the perspective out there, Classic and Links are money club, That's the perspective out
No
there.
man, I don't know anything about that, Mr. Millis. The members of the club contribute towards the club itself. We don't
Okay.
have
So
any
Frederick
more
said
money than any other club.
Classic can divide in three. How many members on Classic side?
Right now we have 54 registered members.
Oh,
And a lot of
54.
those persons actually don't really play. So they are cheerleaders, supporters. So you'd find that there are a lot more clubs with greater numbers of persons registered to play than us.
Okay. All right. Yes, Mr. Berry, Royal Taylor. Royal Taylor said up Champa, big up Champa. Yeah, good night, Mr. Taylor. Talbas
Very
himself.
blessings,
Oh,
blessings.
big up Talbas himself. Yeah, man. He said he think Frederick said him think Links going to win. You have anything to say about that?
Those are your thoughts, Mr. Mesado. We can't kill you for that. But those are very bad thoughts. I don't think they'll come into fruition.
All right. Professor is having some difficulty. His connection is having a very poor connection. I don't know what happened. So in the Sansan League, um this week is what? Week 7. So last week was week 6 in the Sansan League. Um I know what's his name? Mario.
Yes.
Super Mario won himself player of the week already.
Yes.
Right?
So did Bread.
Oh, okay. Yes, Brad. Oh, Brad is trying to
Bread won player of the week also.
Oh, I know the team. I know you have the team of the week, 85 strikers. But
Right.
what I think is every week, 85 strikers going to be on my program.
Yes, man. We're
So
going to be
so
the eventual champions too.
okay, I heard you. So when is your turn now to be the player of the week?
I'm a little bit rusty right now. I haven't been playing a lot of dominoes, but maybe next week will be my week.
Who's the captain for 85 strikers?
Mr. Dixon, Andre Dixon.
Oh, okay.
Oh, more persons would know him as Danks. They don't know that name. Danks.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. I don't think Professor going to be back, so we're going to have a really short um program this week. But Champo, on Sunday, what you have to say about um the match with Lynx versus Brayton and the award, Miss Amina awarded team what, 6 points? Was it 6 or 7 points?
I think it was 4 points. It was
Okay.
4 points. Mm.
Okay. What you have to say about that?
Honestly, I think it was poor officiating. Reason being, if it is that you come to a table and there is a claim made by a player, you have to first hear both sides of the story before you make a ruling. Secondly, if there are two referees present at the match, I don't see why the president needed to intervene. You understand? There are two officials there already. Only time the president should have even been called into play is if it escalated out of the control of the two officials, which I didn't think that happened.
Okay. And also because at that one match, I think there were 3 incidents now, just in that one match now.
Mm-hmm.
And also the point that they took away, not even took away, because he was going to win the game, but Bobby Six, he never wait until his turn. I must go ahead and play. Right? What you have to say about that? With Western Kingston, did have one play the double deuce or
Mm.
something, and then they go ahead and play, and they end up lose the point.
But the truth is, I think Western Kingston was using a bit of gamesmanship. He was trying to hold the game. I don't think he had any intention of trying to claim the game. However, that itself, in him holding the game, it escalated out of control. I think Bobby Six might have had the wrong approach, but he'll gain some more experience along the line. If he declares his hand and the opponent refuses to play, what he has to do is call the referee's attention to the game and say, referee, this man turned to play, this is my hand, I cannot lose. So the referee will tell the man either to play or say him pass or whatever it is. But which is not the approach that he took.
Okay. All right, but I think even if him didn't play and just turn him on, he would have end up still get the point, don't it? He didn't have to play.
Yeah, man. Once he declares his hand and the referee say your turn to play, yeah, man, he will get the point.
Okay, so maybe it's out of ignorance then.
Right. Or youthful exuberance.
Yes, but like they said, it's a learning stage, a learning process. I never too old to learn also. Yes, so you give away his right there.
Right.
Yes. And question, Lyndall McCullough. What was the claim when the player threw away the domino and left the ring? What was the claim? You know what was the claim there?
All right. The contention was that the opponent posed. The player asked the opponent who posed, and the opponent indicated that the wrong person posed. So instead of being honest about who posed, he said my partner posed, and then the man proceeded to play, which is it's unsportsmanlike, but you should be paying attention to the game. So it's a little bit hairy, because if you are paying attention to the game, you would know who would have posed. You understand? You don't have that issue right there.
Yeah, but the thing is that
but you know, given his reaction though was not warranted then.
Yes.
Because that reaction to something like that is a little bit overboard.
Yeah, you give away your right to.
Right.
A reaction like that, giving away your right also. Yes, we do the same thing with Bobby Six, giving away his right.
Right.
Yes.
There's a reason for the officials, you know. The officials are there to interpret the rules of the game and apply them as best as they can. So when you do those things, you basically, well, as I said, kill your own hand.
But let me ask a question though. When him asks who posed, right? And the person said, him pose. That's what he said, right? Him pose.
Yeah, my partner pose, yeah.
His partner pose. And then now you go ahead and play. And then what happened? the person claim one away.
It is technically it's a one away.
Yes, but the thing is that before you throw away the domino, did the referee declare it as a one away or one game for the opponent, or in this throw away the domino before it declare a one game?
Okay, I wasn't there. I'm not sure if it was declared as a one away officially by the referee. However, I think it was after that declaration allegedly happened that the player reacted.
Okay. Oh, but I don't think though. To be honest, no, not saying that. Let me learn something here. Could he get away with it? Benton, if he explain what happened, right? That the person deceived him. Could Benton could that game be shuffled over, or could he get away with it?
To be honest with you, it all boils down to the interpretation of the game by the referee. Because one referee might say, right, one referee might say he wasn't paying attention to the game. So the player as well isn't his right to tell him anything. Another referee might say it's very unsportsmanlike. It's not very gentlemanly for you to tell your opponent a blatant lie about who pose, knowing that it could bring the game into disrepute. So it boils down to the interpretation of the official. For me, I would personally have that game reshuffled.
Yes, I think that's supposed to be the right thing to do.
Yeah, but that might be an unfair advantage to one of the parties. What if I have a really good hand and I have to shuffle that game?
Yeah, but why lie about it? Why lie about the situation though?
No man. Meaning, what if I, the person that was agreed, has a good hand and the opponent did that as a tactic then or a strategy to try and get the game reshuffled? You understand?
Oh, yes.
That would work out to his advantage.
Okay. But for some extent though, I think Benton have to take some form of responsibility too for the action too. Because also I think once a person pose and don't know, I think him have the right to question though, you know. You can question like ask the person how much they have to find out who posed still.
You know, based on the official rules, I think you can ask cards after a certain number of dominoes have been played. I'd have to double check if that is the same for Portmore League.
If that's the case, that can't be right then. If
right,
that's the case.
You understand?
Because that will be mischievous back then. As a matter of fact, I think person could have can get a car for that or something like that. Cause that's bringing the game.
Yeah, man, bringing the game into this. It's very unsportsmanlike. Trust me.
Yeah, remember it's the pause, you know. It's a pause, not like say the game will go on and you watch the game. It's the pause.
Right.
At the draw, some person might be distracted or something like that. I don't know who genuinely pause. At the pause.
Right.
If it was done in the game now, you don't know who player whose turn it is. You understand?
Right.
But pause. So I don't think the person supposed to lie about that. So Rice said after 8 domino play, 8 domino have to play first before you can ask question. So I think this is something we have to check on. Professor.
The rules are a little bit different for the different leagues, you know, Melis. So I'd have to check.
Okay. Professor.
Yes, man. Here now.
Okay, all right. We're hearing you loud and clear now. You're back. You were asking Mr. Lawrence something, Mr. David.
I think that's really I don't know what stage of the conversation you reach, but I'm just joining from the point you're discussing the links and Britain game. And unfortunately, I'm very disappointed in what transpired on Sunday, and I am totally disgusted with what happened administratively and 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 in our official capacity as referees. That game, if the game was being, because one of the administrators were, and probably main administrators was involved in the ring. What transpired shouldn't have, it shouldn't have reached even there, or even a player to throw a card through the ring or throw a dominoes. That the game, as you mentioned, you mentioned something, Shampoo, which the interpretation of a rule should not be, in a sense, interpreted more than one way. For instance, the rule of who to pose. If you ask a question, who pose, for argument's sake, if that was the case, and you blatantly said it was your partner when you pose, and you allowed that player, and that player was allowed to play because he was following what you asked. That player who allegedly told that he was the poser should have lost the game. You cannot bring tricks like that because as Melache, you did say, you can genuinely don't know who pose, whether you're sitting at the table or not, because sometimes when the opponents draw their set of cards, they usually pose fast if it's double six. So at the moment the card draws, so probably you're a bit distracted asking your partner, trying to get acquainted with each other's hands. You tend to over not see who pose. So if you ask and there's a blatant lie or misled, and you allow that player to play and to take a one away, that shouldn't have reached the case. And this is not unique to this situation, because some persons might get in on their feelings and feel say is probably talking about a club or an individual. This is generally across the board. So whether any time at all this happens, that game should be awarded to the player who played and genuinely thought that the response he got was the correct one. So the rule should not even interpret it any other way, because it lead up to what transpired. It was awful, and to be honest with you, I blame the officials at the game. When the game was in process, they were to be the domino was supposed, the double six was supposed to be posed. That was not the case. The player went to the officials and said, officials, the double six was supposed to not been posing. Leave the table, come back. The double six was on the table. Now the player asks, alleged, because I'm not sure either, and the response he got was not the correct one, and he played the domino the game. They called for the game because they genuinely thought it was a one away. The officials at the time, I was there, I look away from the incident, but when they came to the table, they still didn't make a decision. They were still standing at the table. So frustrated by it, well, it seems like the game was going to award persons who claimed they won away. And the opponent threw the cards out of his hands, out of his grasp, and some went even outside. Now, my point in all of this, the officiating was very, very, very poor. And this should not have happened in the first place. The last 20 games going to a competitive nature of this at any stage, as long as the game is very close. All teams, no team was supposed to be allowed to go outside, and that is one of the reasons why this game reached that far, and that incident reached where it reached, because the players were allowed to go outside in critical moments which shouldn't have been. When you're going into the box for the last 20 or so games, the battle of the minds is on display. The fans are intrigued to the actions. No player should be allowed to go outside the ring. No player. All players should get at least 5 minutes. The whole entire game stop. Players allowed to use the bathroom and come back. The competition cannot play. Domino cannot play like this. If these incidents continue to happen, Domino will never ever reach where it's going to it needs to be reached. So the officials, to me, are the persons to be blamed for what's happening. You cannot have a game where three officials are in one ring and you can solve simple problems like these. The game cannot be that close and you allow players to go outside. No advantage should be given at that stage. No player is supposed to be going out, they lose a game, go outside and delay at one table. Every table is supposed to be playing simultaneously. So it allows the fairness of the game and so forth, make it spectator friendly for persons who even watching at their home, watching a good game of dominoes. You play chess, MELLACHE. When two players in battle, do they take breaks when you reach a certain time? It's a mind game. The mental aspect of the game should be on display, and that is what a lot of persons are missing. That is one of the main reasons domino cannot reach. Hey, when you can look and talk about momentum, and the majority of the persons, spectators, players, believe that this game will never ever reach anywhere. I am totally upset. Right now, I can't even tell you. Right now, I'm done with Domino totally, based on those facts. Domino cannot be administrated, continue administrate at this level. If we are looking at the Premier Competition, now you mentioned something about the interpretation of CHAMPO.
Mm-hmm.
There's supposed to be one interpretation. There can be insinuating of interpretation, but it should be of the fact that if an official left from this league and goes to the Western League, whatever decision he makes in this Portmore League, for argument's sake, he should be able to make it in the Western League without any form of biases or favor. And I think that there's need to be some central body or sort of set up, unless that I'm not going to reach anywhere about. Because the officials are to be blamed for what transpired on Sunday. They are to be blamed. I'm going to say to this, and I'm going to say this publicly. I personally called the officials in the game when there are about 20 games left and said, send everybody outside. I personally did that, and it seems like they were reluctant of doing so for whatever reason. And it's unfortunate that incident happened a couple of games after. So we need to manage the game from this point, from administrative level. Because if we are asking for players to be disciplined, administrators who have done this is also in discipline. And all stakeholders in this domino fraternity should be on almost one accord. And and why players can even what the incident, what the player threw the domino to the game, it is because of how we view the game. The persons in dominoes who do for most for the sports have less talk when the things matters most. Spectators, and it's been, if you realize decisions are being made and spectators are so much involved more than the official. And for argument's sake, I don't believe when the opponent threw the cards through the ring, he awaited a decision from the officials. And that is based on the fact that the officials take, well, I wouldn't say take too long because they are scenarios they might delay their decision for whatever cause. Because
So
sometimes
I think, Professor, I think it's after the decision he did that, you know. Maybe it's after the decision.
all right. Well, see, so after the decision is being made, that should be in a sense where the officials do, ensure that they do they make decision accordingly. Because first, remember, you know, when decisions are being made, it's happening in almost every sport, and that is why, as an official, your most important task is to allow the game to go on. You know, your number one priority as an official is to ensure that the game goes on. That is why, as an official, you're not supposed to be the person on top of the mountain seeking the attention. So you support, because the players are the main commodity of the sport, hands down. So what you're going to do, the decisions you're going to make is to ensure that the players, whether or not they fall in their decision, is the best interest of the game. And I have a serious problem as administrators of the sport. We are just bringing down the sport far than what it should be. Because I see a great improvement in our players according to themselves in recent times. Yet the officials continue to fails us. And that needs to be improved, unless Domino not going anywhere, boss. So
Let me
all
ask a
of this,
question.
yeah, go ahead.
Champo, let me ask
Yes,
you a
Mr.
question.
Willis.
Is there an appealing committee?
Well,
Maybe
not that I know of. The appeal committee would have been led by the person who made the final decision. So that within itself is a breach.
the president. The
Yes.
president. Okay, because I think that's why you have a lot of these things been going on in the Domino fraternity, you know, because you don't have a appealing committee.
Right. And if we have a centralized governing body, Mr. Millis, that would fix a lot of the problems that we have
Yes.
administratively. Trust me.
And
It's something that has been discussed numerous times, but it's a little bit difficult to get off the ground. It has been met with very stiff opposition from even some of the very same persons who claim that they want the sport to go forward. Mm.
and I think one of the reasons, let me add this too. I think as if we are properly organized units in terms of clubs, and I use the word clubs in a way that it's deliberately, because we think we should have clubs more than teams, although probably it can use alternatively. But I think we need clubs. I think the clubs need to be properly registered and so forth. No, by
But I
doing
don't
that,
agree with that though, Professor, when you said clubs more than teams. So you
no,
always find teams more than club.
no, that's a point I'm making. We should run a properly club structure. No club probably could join a league if they don't have club meetings. Things like those, mandatory. Yeah, they're supposed to have a slate, you know, and put together. So all these things need to be looked in Domino to move further, you know, because there are situations where the persons who have nothing to do with Domino, maybe all them doing is come complain Domino. They don't contribute monetary or in kind, etc. In labor. Yet when the competitions are on, they are one of the persons who are more vocal, more than the persons who see that the sport is up and running. So we need change of that. The poor administrators of leagues, and it's not unique to this league. That's one of the things that I want to get across. Needs to be addressed, and the clubs need to take a stance themselves and don't get involved in competitions that are poorly run.
Okay, so Linda McCullough said,
Yeah.
so Linda McCullough said the domino were thrown away and the player left the ring before any official reached the table. So that means Ben 10 he gave away his right then.
Yes, but guess what now? That should have been, because officials should be at the table, because one of that opponent in particular went to the referee when the game when no domino was being posed, when the double six was not being posed. So there's no way three referees supposed to be in the ring. And at that because if they were they would have been at the table when that incident took place. They should have been at the table when that incident took place. So they would have made that a decision. So it's a blunder on the officials' part, because they should have been at the table at that time prior to that player throwing the dominoes through the ring. So it's so poor that I can't even, I don't want to even go down to the players. The officiating and administrative, because I've used the word administrative because one of the main administrators of this league was in the ring. It's poor. There's no way opponents should be coming, players should be coming out of the ring when 20 games to go. No way, unless there's a break for the countdown situation. Nowhere. All the leagues will get sponsored with all these invariables. It cannot proceed, and I am totally disgusted by some of the things happening, even and that incident probably one of the main ones. It cannot go on like this. The domino will never ever get sponsored at high level if we continue to behave like this, whether from any stakeholder at all. That needs to improve. We need to take our stance now going forward. This can't be going on forever.
Mr. Lawrence, how does Classic deal with poor performance from the referee?
It's a very controversial question, Mr. Melis. The captain is the person who normally deals with poor performance or underperformance by an official. But those things normally don't affect us greatly because we have overwhelming talent, so it doesn't normally affect us.
Yes, but our in the team 4 points though.
At that stage. At that stage.
You
yes. Can't just, you have to be careful. That's what I'm saying. You have to have a criteria in place to ensure that decisions you make are not way off, that it affects a particular team. I was there when I think I heard afar off, like the president in fact said, when a player throw a domino, them lose the match. I think he used the term match. Or we reach that situation, because you have to analyze why a player would do something like that. You have to analyze why a player would take an action like that at that stage, still knowing that they could have won the game. Because the game was not thing that they were leading by 8, 9, wanted 7, it's 2 and 3. Still in their reach. So it's nothing that they were way out of it, and still could and the opponent said didn't have a chance. So your decisions have to be one that it's in true fairness of the game.
This league has been around for what? Them say what? About 4 decades now?
4 decades.
Yeah. 4 decades now. This league has been around, and Mr. Mina should know this. So definitely, you see, from a team need 10 or less to win, you cannot award them points like that.
Yeah, yes, but I think there are situations.
When your team needs 10 or less to win, can award points?
Yes, but there are situations.
There are situations that might have to happen.
Yes.
Because if a player is expelled from the game, or if he walks out of the game,
exactly,
and the 10 is not completed, then the points have to be awarded to the team to complete the 10.
Exactly. So there are
Okay.
contexts. Yeah, there are,
So if a team wants, say that the team want 6 to win, the team wants 6 to win, right? And a person walk out on 4 love, and then the opponent wants 6 to win. They would get the 6 right off the bat there and win the tournament.
yes,
No,
if the
no.
players not returning.
Right, if the player doesn't return, the points
Yes,
would have to be awarded.
yes, definitely.
All right. So for instance, in these situations, normally the captain would be instructed to play one game, right? If the player doesn't return. But if he doesn't ask for the permission of the referee to leave the ring, it's an
Yes,
expulsion.
yeah. There are discretionary measures though, because
Right,
sometimes you can't, as in this case, as an official, you can understand why the player would throw a domino through the ring based on what transpired.
right.
Yeah. So you can look and say, all right, you lose the game, or probably you lose another game, probably you lose 2 games based on what transpired. But probably he's still in the
Mm,
ring. Suppose he's still in the ring and he did that. Probably you can. I mean, there are situations where you can, because as I said before, one of your main purpose of as an official is to ensure that the game goes on, the true spirit of the game. And that situation requires now, oh, you see that person. Because there's some point somebody gets upset during a game. It happens in all sports. It does happen in all sports,
So
So
are you saying then, Mr. David, are you saying that the 4 point that Mr. Mina awarded the team, that was lawful?
if the player exits the match without acknowledging the officials, then it can be done.
it
Why
can be
If
did
the
he
done.
player doesn't return.
why did he award links the 4 points? Because I
Because
heard
the player left the match, he was not
yes.
acknowledged by the officials, he left the match and the 10 was not finished.
Well, and before you go no further now, how sort this out? I think the game was about 5-3,
Right. I'm not sure if he might have given the team more points than they really should have gotten.
Exactly. Because they were leading
That's
about by
another point of contention.
yes. Because if they were see it, and that needs now something like a body to appeal to. Because if that
Right.
player
Yeah.
was they were leading like 5-3, and to complete the 10 it would be more 2 more games.
Yes, it's Tamara. So Tammy mentioned it here. If the score is 2-6-2, that's 8. And only 2
Yes,
points needed to complete the 10. They're supposed to be all award 2 points,
2
which I
points.
agree.
Yes.
So if the score was
Yeah,
5-3, that
think
means
of it.
just 2 points should be awarded.
Yes, and not 4. So you see, you see, these are the things that we need to address. In order to the sports to improve the whole administrative level, because in terms of the officials what we are looking at, it has to be dealt with from an administrative level. If the referees are continuing making the blunders, it's not the officials now to be blamed. It must be
But
the administrators.
yeah, but the president himself may award them the points.
That's what I'm saying. Let me tell you, one of the things that I think Mr. Mina does well as an administrator, he makes decisions fairly quickly. I see, and I admire him for that. That is probably one of his best assets. He does make decisions quickly, and in this case, it was a quick decision, but probably I would guess not the right one.
Yes, it was incorrect.
Yeah, I don't
If
believe
that
he
was the
should have won.
score, it was incorrect.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with him
And
all
then
that.
there is no redress for the aggrieved team because
Yes,
he is the highest official
Yes.
thank
in
you,
the league.
thank
So
you.
Decision finals.
there's nobody to reverse or overturn that ruling that was made by him.
Because in fact, it's ironic, I don't believe he should have been involved in that game as he was doing throughout the game. To what I've
Mm.
seen, he should have allowed the officials who are involved in the game to monitor the game as they ought to, and
Right.
and they should have been put at designated tables. So, for argument's sake, we have 2 officials. They should be put at 3. They are responsible for 3 tables. Whatever way you want to put it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You put them at 3. So they are responsible for these 3 tables. So any decision supposed to make on this table is supposed to be taken. If there is a situation where both supposed to come together in some decision, if it's very difficult for one to make, it's all good. But they should be responsible. Because I agree with 2 officials in our final to ensure the smooth running of the league, especially at this critical stage. So there are
Yeah,
a
but
lot of
that might cause confusion, Professor. Because remember, if there are 2 officials, if one captain calls one and asks them for a change, and the other captain calls
oh,
the other official and asks them for a change, how will
beautiful.
that work out?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's right. That's right, Champo. So as we are saying, these are situations we can look at, and if but you would probably need. Oh, I would say probably there's a main official. Then if
Right.
you're alone using
And
the
an assistant, right?
yes, so
Mm.
they will look at other areas to ensure the smooth running of the game, and especially at this critical stage. You know,
Right.
but certain decisions now you have to, as administrator of the league, you have to remove yourself from that, because if you don't have a proper slate, you might be the person who they will come in for redress or etc. You know,
Correct.
yeah.
Correct.
So there's a lot to be desired what transpired on Sunday, and as I implore, if we need this game to move on, we as stakeholders should now play our part in every aspect to ensure that the game goes on. For instance, there's a comedy of things going on in Domino. Let me get a great example. For instance, in the game, when the game is played, there's a situation where the person on the board pointing about the points, or the unofficial. This is they have the score table and they have the board table. The captain's calling about what is on the board. The players calling about what on the board. The spectators are calling about what on the board, and the captains are calling on the board. You see where Domino is going, boss? How comes you to call the scoreboard is an official scoreboard? What should take place is what on the scorecard at the table. And almost every game or every competition that's been run, I see the same thing. That these are things that mash up the sport. What if we should now get away from that so we can minimize the amount of participation from spectators getting involved in the sports? Because we are arguing over situations where the most important point thing stake is at the table. The official score, that is where, you know, if we get it wrong at the scoreboard, it don't matter what they put on the thing there, you know, because that is just for spectators and players and so to see. But the real score is on the score sheet. The official score is on the score sheet. We need to get away. If we don't get our minds from that, the sport will always be in disrepute. That now need to be addressed. I mean, big disruption because the score are right on the scoreboard. And yet the most important person is nobody consulting them. Even the referees, the referee are calling upon the scoreboard and the score sheet is there. Or if you have dispute, you have a scorecard. The most important thing to score is on the scorecard. So if you need a change, if the score on the scorecard doesn't reflect what the captains have, that change cannot be made. Are made whatever, because probably it's more than what the captains have. So these things now has to be addressed. So these things look like it's just things that are not actually what should I say, that important. So
Yeah,
we
they're
need
majoring in the minor.
Exactly. So you know what I'm saying? So that if we
Mm.
can take away these things that are also are distracting the game can be easier for everybody. So every match, me see, so many times, me sit down and watch them, you know, me and looking at they're just scoring. The referee, who know far more important, is having problem. The spectators, the players, scoreboard officials, markers are calling over an official score. Tell me how that makes sense. And the most important persons at the table, them not consulting. The sport cannot grow like this. So these things now we have to look into to ensure that the sports it goes the way we want to go. So we are talking about Olympics, Olympiad. We're not that close because we now put the house in order. We need now to ensure as stakeholders from whatever firm, players, officials, administrators, spectators, we cannot have 20,000 people or so, are probably over 10,000 people watching it from the face of them living room. And we know at that the joke. We have no persons who probably want to sponsor now. I see the thing right in them living room. We need to get away from this backdrop startup way we see the game from way back from 40 years ago. And then we are talking about who wants sports to go where it want to go. We need to ensure that the game remain as it's supposed to be, a mental sport, which calls for a lot of mental decisions to be made. Remember, you know, the hardest thing about that when you play, the hardest thing you do in a domino, you know, when you're involved in the game, you know, it's if you let down the game order, you beat the table, you know. Everything else requires the mental capacity. We need to use that now far more often. We just get fed up by it, and we just have to give to probably everybody. It cannot continue. Sport cannot continue like this, man. Cannot
All right.
continue.
Thanks again, Champo, for being on our program. Team of the week and also representing Classic. So thanks again for being here. And
Yeah, man, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to be here.
okay, and I hope we have you back again. This time representing yourself, player of the week.
Yeah.
I'm working towards it, Mr. Mills. Working towards it.
All right. Thanks again, Champo. All right. In the Sansan League, this is the 7th week because you have 16 teams in the Sansan League. So this is the 7th week. And on Thursday, we have Elite Squad versus Eagles. Elite Squad. And I'm telling you, Professor, I think it's only two matches Elite Squad won, you know.
Week 1.
Yeah. I think it's only two matches.
No, man, I think I won them win.
One?
Yeah,
No,
one.
man. I think they're on 8 points. So I think that eludes to 2 games.
2 games. Yeah, if you're on 8 points, it's 2 games.
One, Donovan Davis said 1, but they're on 8 points. I think they're on 8 points.
They are what? A 1 point, a 1 match, I know them win. Because you know, the last match them played, they were on one win, and they lost their game.
Great Elite Squad. I want them to know what elite means. Yes, and the second match on tomorrow, on Thursday, will be the Bomb Squad versus Latin All Stars. Yes, and on Friday, we will have Storm Them versus Caribbean Best. And also the second match, Clarendon Upsetters versus Church Assassin. So you have some very interesting match on Friday. Yes. So, Professor, Question. What you have to say, and what would you say to the sponsors to come on board out there?
Come on board.
Yes, in the Domino, for
I would
Domino in general. Domino in general.
I would always encourage sponsors to be a part of it. But however, one of before I encourage sponsors, I just had a tirade a while ago. We need to get our house in order first, and that's where it is. I cannot encourage sponsors on board to sit a situation of chaos, and I think we need to iron out our chaos before we seek sponsors. And I think that's the way to go. It's easy. I will not discourage any sponsor not to be a part of of a commission. I've tried putting their money where their mouth is. But
Okay, so I'll
but we
fix
have
up
to do it
all
right.
first.
Yes, we have to fix our house first. So it's much easier because sponsors are reluctant to put their money where their mouth is in
Okay.
cases like this. Because let me give you one good example. You see, in the majority of domino teams have a of way of, and this is why it seems like it's nothing. We have a tendency to when we are not in the runnings for the like, top eight or so forth, the teams tend to don't honor their fixtures. Yeah, and that needs to be addressed because sponsors still like when teams turn out because they still have their goods and services to leverage, and you can and as clubs you cannot not honor your fixtures, and that is something needs to be addressed. They have to the same impetus that you use to initial stage of the tournament should be still be shown at that stage of the competition, whether or not you cannot qualify, even if you're finishing last. And if they that's why I am adhering to clubs to be properly structured, because in this case, if the scenario like that happen, they suffer the consequences even entering the next season or any other season. So if we want sponsors to come on board, we have to ensure that we do such things like honor our fixtures, no matter where you are in the table, and that is one of
Okay.
the key things.
Okay. All right. Frederick. Yeah, man. Big up yourself, Frederick. It's just the love, Frederick. It's just the love of the game and the love of the sport. Cause remember, I'm not earning from this, You understand? But we all want to see Domino reach to a level where professional players getting paid from it. You understand? Yeah. So it's just really the love, Frederick. Yeah, man. But I appreciate it. All right. For the Premier League now, big. I have a big league going in the West, Professor. Two leagues, two big league going in the Western
Yes.
Jamaica. Yes, and they're heating up. So I'm going to
Yes,
share.
just
I'm going to share my
fine
screen.
standing.
Yes. So this is the Real Navy overproof rum. Yeah. So you have two leagues going on. You have two leagues going on. Now in the West. So you have the Premier League. You have a Division One league. So in the
Mm-hmm.
Division One league, you have Strike Force, Clark's Lane, Shellers. You have Lookout, Dynamites, Uptown, Assassin, D-Side, Untouchables. Archive, Tornado, and Unity Strikers. What which league you're in, Professor? The Premier League or Division One league?
Yeah, man. Premier League.
Oh, you're in the Premier League.
Yeah,
Okay,
man.
and the Division One, you have Cornerstone Strikers, you have Strasbourg Strikers, Peace and Love, Long Bay Uptown, Survival Stars, Little Force, Western Stars, and me fi tell you, and Surprise Strikers. Um, right now, people not even talking about the Portmore League. Maybe it's because of the finals why they're really talking about the Portmore League, you know, because right now is really the Western League everybody talking about right now, you know. Professor.
Uh,
Really Portmore.
which league is
So
I'm talking about? The Western League.
the Western League. Western League.
Yeah, definitely. There are only
Yes,
two
because a
teams
lot
left
of
now to
players.
play the final. So the another person's main focus now is on the Western League. And one of the good things about this, what has been going to transpire now, is that majority of the teams are now, there are only two teams remaining to decide this the trophy in this side of the country. So so there were 16 teams involved in this competition, just finished, about to complete. So now, as we speak, 14 teams now players are available for playing for teams in the West. So their main focus now is on concentration is more on the Western side of things now, and they will now not compete because it seems that the town league will not be starting in time soon. So there will be a smooth transition from now going forward. Just just barring the final of the Portmore League, slated to start in another couple of weeks. So that's where it is, and we see the point standing only
Yes.
three unbeaten
So this is the
teams. Three unbeaten.
point standing for the Premier League. Which team you playing for, Professor, in the Premier League?
I won't give out that yet, but
Well, the thing is that, you know, I want to play for a team in the West, you know, in the Premier League, but due to this call, I have to be videoing. Yes, so my viewers, I'm going to start a video sometimes because I know I can't make it all the time, but sometimes I'm going down to the West and video some of the matches. So you can stay tuned for that. So in first place, you have Hawkeye. Play 2, win 2. And then you have Strike Force. This is the standings, my people. Strike Force. Play 2, win 2. Assassin in third place. Tornado in fourth place. Clark's Lane Shellers. I heard that name calling up regularly, you know. But they only won 1. So play 3, 1. Unity Strikers. Play 2. So they have a game in hand. Play 2, win 1. Lookout Dynamite. Play 3, win 1. D side. Untouchables. What happened to that side? They pull out.
well, it's strange to see teams playing 3 games and they haven't played even one as yet.
Yeah, they don't play
That's
any game as yet.
that's,
So
that's quite strange.
yeah,
Why
because I heard Chris was talking about this D side.
I know there are 9 teams in the league. However, they would have probably sit out 1 game, so probably at least 2 games they should have been played. Should have been played already.
Okay, but this standing is saying they played none. Uptown
Strange.
in ninth place. So no, something is wrong with this table because if Uptown plays 3, oh, and they don't win any. Oh, this side don't play any, but they are 0 points too. Okay. All right, and also in the In the Division 1, you have if it tell you.
Yeah, that's why I say, I'm if you tell you when you ask me, we say
Yeah,
that over.
if it tell you, Professor.
Yeah.
If it tell you, say, the Division 1 league, Division 1 league is smaller than the Premier League, don't it?
Yes, it will be. Yeah.
It's, okay. So if we tell you in first place, 3.3, and you have Little Force in second place, Strathbogie Strikers in third place, Survival Stars in fourth place, Western Stars in fifth place, Peace and Love in sixth place, Long Bay Uptown in seventh place, Sunrise Strikers eighth place, and um, Cornerstone Strikers in ninth place. So all these league play on the same day, the same
Yes,
Sunday, the Premier
man.
League and the
Yeah,
Division
man.
1.
Yeah. This is the D1. What do you call it? The Rumbar. Oh, and a Rumbar. This. Okay. Sorry.
No, the two league is rare, nephew.
Okay, I think because of you know, we are never sponsor the Premier League and the Rumbar sponsor the thing, the D1.
Yeah, the two league is rare, nephew.
Or Real never. Okay.
So question. Why can't we find sponsors for Town League or Portmore League like Ray and Neville, like the Western League? What is it really?
Better managed.
Better management?
Yeah, administratively.
Okay. Say Barry.
And they know what to market. The persons who are administrator of the league did their
They have a body.
Yeah, and they did their homework.
Okay.
Because in previous years they had other sponsors on board. So I've never known of them not having a sponsor and also a corporate sponsor, as a matter of fact.
Okay.
And
All right.
one of the reasons I think they do well, if you realize, they go to the sponsors who can be aligned with the product they are offering. So Rome would be greatly associated with old Domino and thing, the whole concept of Domino playing at bars, etc. And the Nook and Cranny, where they still want their products to be. Do you want oils, lubricant? Okay. So that's one of the things that we need to look at. So the persons in this side of the end needs to look at, need to have the same vision.
Yes. All right, my viewers. If you don't subscribe as yet, my viewers, please remember to subscribe so that you, whenever time we go live or I post a video, it will come straight on your phone. You don't have to wait until I send a link. It will come straight to your phone. So remember to subscribe and click the notification bell to all. Yes, and also remember to click like on the video. Yes. We have come to the end of another week again. And I know Sunday gone it was a bit controversial, but nevertheless, some exciting match played. And we're expecting a lot more on the 28th when we have the finals of the Portmore League Classic, Caribbean Classic versus Links United. Yes, and I'd like to say thanks to Professor Mr. Floyd Wright, my analyst. Yes, thanks, sir, for being here again, Professor. And is third place playing this week? Yes, third and fourth playing this week, I think, at Garvermead. Yes, third plane. No,
Really?
no. As a matter of fact, I think it's bottom four plane. No, lower four. Sorry, lower four plane this week at Garvermead. Not third and fourth. It's lower four
And
playing this.
and that and that need to be that thing needs to be cut out though.
The
That
lower
lower
four.
word, yes. And we don't want to encourage mediocrity. You know? No,
So you don't want to give the mediocre teams incentive.
yes. It not to be.
Yes, Tammy. So is it lower four playing this week? So thanks again, my viewers, and thanks for tuning in. And I appreciate you being here and participating and being a part of MELLACHE TV Analysis Thursday. So thanks again. See you guys next week.
All right. Yeah, man.